Blessings, beautiful people of the world. Alex here. Now, people of Jamaica have noticed that persons are confused as to the new identification system, the N.I.D.S. That's the National Identification System that is being implemented by Parliament. The bill has been passed. So, due to the fact that I told my subscribers, I told you guys that I will always try to stay at top of current affairs and to give you in-depth information. I'm sorry. I went and got that information for you guys. I got the actual bill, and the information on the bill states the areas of the ID, what it covers, the form of identification, and all of that. Now, there is a copy further in the video. If you want to skip over to that, you can skip through to that. Alright, but I have some information just to give you guys before I go any further. Alright, also there will be a link to the copy of the bill in the descriptions below. Okay, now a lot of countries have been using this form of identification for a while now, and the fact is, I really think that Jamaica had needed a new form of identification for a long time, because our identification cards, the national ID, it can't be swiped anywhere, it can't be used in any other country. Now, the N.I.D.S, you can call this basically a universal ID, because it's your information, and wherever you go you'll be able to use it. Now, persons are basically afraid to get this new identity card, because person is saying that you have to get a high scan and all of that. Yes, I understand all of that, but the fact is, if you're gonna do your passport, you're gonna have to do a biometric scan, which is an eye scan. If your child is going to school, he has to do medical. You understand? With the RFID chip that is installed on the card, you use a cell phone, so you've been using an RFID chip for a long time now. And an RFID chip is basically a chip that tags your location everywhere you are. So if you don't want to be tracked, you have been tracked for a long time now. Alright, and as the pictures show you, these chips are small as a rice grain. You understand? Okay, so guys, RFID chips, you notice they are as small as a rice grain. Alright, says your small RFID chips are compared to a grain of rice, are incorporated in consumer products and implanted in pets for identification purposes. Radio frequency identification, RFID, uses electromagnetic fields to automatically identify and track tags attached to objects. The tags contain electronically stored information. Passive tags collect energy from a nearby RFID readers interrogating radio waves. Those are the ones like what you use for like flow, and you know, the ones they use for internet, those small white ones. Active tags have a local power source such as a battery and may operate hundreds of meters from the RFID reader. Unlike a barcode, the tag need to be within the line of sight of the reader, so it may be embedded in the tracked object. So basically, we have been using RFID chips since we have been using cell phones that use a chip. You understand? So we could have been traced from anywhere. No, guys, that's one form of RFID chip. The other form is the form that is on the bank cards, on your cell phone chip, and on most of the cards that you use, and one of those little gold chips that you see on your cards, and you have smaller than those also. Alright, but those are the most common. So we have been using these chips for a long time now, for medical purposes, for educational purposes, you know. Alright, there are times gone by you need to get your blood type to do like an operation or something. You have to be running up and down, going all over the place. Now, all of that information will be stored one place. You understand? So you won't have to go through all that problem. Alright, I'm still not seeing why persons should be afraid of using an ID when we have got an updated technological system where it requires an updated form of ID. Alright guys, so next I'm gonna be showing you the actual bill and covering a part of that with you guys. Alright. Yes people, so basically here is the bill, the actual bill for the National Identification System, the N.I.D.S, and it says here the bill entitled An Act to establish a body to be called the National Identification and Registration Authority for the promotion, establishment and regulation of a national identification system for the enrollment and the registration of all citizens and individuals who are ordinarily resident in Jamaica, and the verification and the authentication of their identity, to provide for the establishment, maintenance and operation of a data bank to be called the National Civil and Identification Database. Basically that's where they're gonna store the information. It says the assignment of a national identification number and the issue of a national identification card to such individuals and for such connected matters. Them thing are like them writing up parables more time. I wonder. It's a be it enacted by the Queen's Most Excellent Majesty, by and with the advice and consent of the Senate of the House of Representatives of Jamaica, and by the authority of the same, as followed. Part 1 says this may be cited as the National Identification and Registration Act 2017, and subject to subsection 2 shall come into operation on a day or days to be appointed by the Minister by notice published in the Gazette. A notice under subsection 1 may appoint different days in respect of different parts or provisions of this Act. In this Act, unless, this is the interpretation for the title, it says in this Act, unless the context otherwise requires, appointed day means the day or days appointed under section 1 for the coming into operation of this Act. Authentication means the process by which the identification information or demographic information of an individual is proved to be its accuracy, to be proved as to its accuracy or inaccuracy. Alright, basically I'm gonna be leaving a link to this down below the video. Alright, so this is the authority, means the National Identification and Registration Authority established by section 5. Biographic information in relation to an individual means the name, sex, date of birth, place of birth, time of birth, parish of birth, marital status, telephone number, email address, mailing address and residential address of the individual. The name of the individual's mother, the name of the individual's father, the name of the individual's guardian, where appropriate, but does not include the DNA of the individual. Biometric information in relation to an individual means the photograph, signature, fingerprint, palm print, toe print, footprint, iris scan, retina scan, blood type, eye color, or such other biological attribute of the individual as may be specified in the regulations. Board means Board of Management of the authority established by section 9. Chairman means the chairman of the board appointed under paragraph 6 of the first schedule. Chief Executive Officer means the person appointed as the Chief Executive Officer under section 11. Core biometric information means fingerprint, footprint, toe print, iris scan, retina scan, palm print, or such other biological attribution of an individual as may be specified in the regulations. Database means the National Civil and Identification Database established under section 15. Demographic information in relation to an individual means the race, religion, education, profession, occupation, and such other attributes of the individual as may be prescribed in the regulations, but shall not include political affiliation, income, medical history, or sexual orientation of the individual. Document means in addition to a document in writing, anything or manner in which information of any description is recorded or stored. Enrolled individual means any person who is enrolled under part. I don't really remember Roman. numbers. I guess you guys will know what that means. Enrollment means the process of collecting identity information and demographic information from individuals for the purpose of the database. Identity information means the biographic information and biometric information of an individual. So basically that's all the information above. That's your identity information. Minister means the Prime Minister. National identification card means the identification card issued under Section 26. National identification number means the identification number assigned to an individual under Section 23. Ordinarily resident in Jamaica in relation to an individual means legally residing in Jamaica or authorized to legally reside in Jamaica for at least 6 months in a calendar year. Photograph means an image of the individual generated by a process of reflecting light and capturing light through a chemical or electronic process and recreating the image either electronically or physically, and for the purpose of this act, a photograph shall capture identifiable features of the individual. Jano, so them never bother to explain all of that, So guys, I'll be leaving a link down below because I know you guys don't want to sit and hear me read through all of this, so there'll be a link to this down below where you can actually get it for yourselves. Alright, so until then guys, I am Alex, and remember to subscribe to Elite Jamaica so that you never miss an update. Alright, and we cover all the current facts, we cover all the current happenings. Okay, so click the notification icon also. Alright, so blessings people.